So, you want to ask your boss for a raise. Here's the most simple way to get a raise and to kind of give you this perspective that's 100% needed if you do want to get a promotion, stack up your ranks in whatever company you want to go to. I have, like, in about almost every single job I've been to, I've been promoted and I got a salary bump. Some asked, some I didn't ask. And one thing that was common in all of them, I made sure I was irreplaceable and I put myself in the most best possible position of power. You want to look at it like this. When you're talking to your boss, most likely he's never turned a wrench in his freaking life. Most likely the guys that are in the office, they don't even know what the hell you're doing. And you're out there busting your ass doing 10 to 12 hour shifts, gluing metal together, completing impossible tolerances, and you think you deserve a better pay increase. Completely understandable. Here's the thing. If you have not been there for at least 6 months, don't expect a damn raise. If you are not good at your job and there's constantly people trying to help you and fix your fuck ups, don't expect a raise. If you think also, devil's advocate, if you think that being the best employee also guarantees you a raise, completely wrong again. I've seen the quickest way to get to raises: being irreplaceable and knowing the boss. There's no other quicker way to get a raise, okay? Now I'll explain. It is not about how hard you work or your performance, okay? It is about, does the boss think you're really good at what you do and that they think you're irreplaceable? For me, in my current job, I got like 2 raises in a year, okay? That's unheard of. The reason why is because I made myself as irreplaceable and as logically sound to get a raise. Here's what you do. You have to talk the lingo of the office people. Most blue-collar workers, they're just roasting each other and calling every type of slur before 7 a.m. That's not really going to be conducive when they try to ask for a raise. Here's how you ask for a raise. You have to put yourself in the best possible position. How you do that, become irreplaceable. How do you become irreplaceable and make it make sense to your boss? You make it seem as if it is a logical step for them to give you a raise. You got to kind of make it seem like okay, this makes sense that I give them a raise. You can't ask for a raise because you want one. You have to kind of make it make sense for them that it is imperative that they give it to you. Because if you are irreplaceable, then it makes you harder to get someone else in here and do the job for the same price that they're paying for you per hour. So they say, I'm going to deal with the inconvenience of giving this guy a higher wage than it is for me to find someone else to do the job. And you should, if you're going to ask for a raise, you got to be prepared to almost leave. The one who is the most powerful in the negotiation is the one who's willing to leave and they're okay with not getting anything. That's the person who has the strength to be like, I want this, and if I don't get this, I could just walk away and not even blink. And when it comes to being irreplaceable, I would... So basically, it was a crazy situation, I came in, the 2 pro welders there that only worked there, both of them freaking retired. And so I had to fill in their shoes. Mind you, these guys have been welding before I was even born. I was still able to do their job. That was enough for me to get a raise. 2, I also had to make sure that I was in a position where it was logical. It's like, I am able to do this, this, and this, and this. You're not a welder. You're not a tradesman. You're a problem solver. If you can make things less inconvenient for the people around you and your boss, then that makes sense for them. You say, don't even compare your pay wage to other people. That is the worst thing you can do if you want to get a raise. Do not say, just because so-and-so is making this, I should. Even if you've been there longer, it doesn't matter. Your ability to make the company money is the only thing that matters. And if you aren't one of their greatest assets, then why would they want to pay you? If you do ask for a raise, they're going to ask you a dumbass question. They're going to be like, why should I give you a raise? Obviously, you want more money so you can pay your bills easier. But you have to make it make sense to them. I believe I deserve a raise because I have been able to be a great asset with minimal tools, along with my certifications, years of experience, and my ability to solve problems and make things easier for the rest of the company. You have to be able to say that without blinking. You have to be able to be sure of yourself that you can put me anywhere in this bitch, and I will do a great job at it. I will be cutting metal with the acetylene torch, with the saw blades, or stick welding, TIG welding, MIG welding, aluminum, stainless. I can do it all. The combo welder package. So it would make sense for me that I would desire a higher wage for what I'm able to do. And especially since if you're new, you should first chase the experience. Obviously, have enough money to live, but chase the experience. Because when you learn all these things, it makes you harder to fire. Because, oh, this guy can drive the forklift, he can do this, he can do that, he can do that, he can do this. If you are known as the guy who can do a lot, it makes it easier to get a raise because you are known to solve the problem in whatever it is. Even if it's just stuff that's not welding, because I'm a welder. Even if it's stuff that's not welding, delivering parts, moving from point A to point B, setting stuff up. So that way, when the guy who's in production, he's going to be able to just throw this stuff at you because you already helped him out. And make sure, not consciously brown nose, but I mean, when you work, do not work hard. Work smart, intelligently. Make it seem easy because you want to sound like you know what the fuck you're doing. You make it sound in office talk. For me, I was fixing a dent or fixing a uneven space. All I did was crank that shit till it was even. But you can't say that because otherwise it sounds too stupid. You gotta make it complicated. The idiot is impressed by complexity. The smart one is impressed by simplicity. What I did was that I gathered the piece of metal, I measured it on 2 different surfaces, I placed a level on it to make sure it was all level and square. Then me and my friend, my coworker, applied pressure in both directions in order for it to level out. You see how gay that sounds? I had to do all that just to make it sound impressive. But that's the language you have to speak to them. So you have to, one, be a problem solver and be able to make it so that it's less of an inconvenience for everything else that your boss sees you do, and you do a good job on top of that. It is not about how hard you work. It is about the elbows that you rub, and that if you can do consistent work and work hard when it's important. You also have to be able to understand that your ability to do better is imperative, such as getting more certifications, getting more experience, getting more practice of a different form. Like I'm a combo welder, I can weld anything, mostly anything. And that allows me to have more room for being irreplaceable. I'm like, who are you going to do this for? I'm like the perfect candidate. I'm young, strong, want to work a lot of hours, and I can weld almost anything. What is easy to replace about that? Sure, you can get the guy with 20 years of experience. Sure, you can do that. But are you going to be able to afford him? No. So would you rather just give me a few more dollars or pay him a lot of more dollars? So that's kind of like the idea of how to get a raise, kind of put things into perspective. You really got to talk in their language and then make it seem like it's a logical step for them to pay you more.